everyone. Welcome to another A Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2021 matchup. This is a Game 3 between coolpapabell2282 and MrScruffNinjaTuna in Round 3 of the brackets. Our commentators are Coravane and Tyler Salt, and you two can take it from here.
XR. Hi, everybody. My name's Tyler Salt here with Coravane. Hi, Coravane.
Hello, Tyler Salt, and hello, all of you out in the randomizer community.
Like we said, Game 3 between coolpapabell and MrScruffNinjaTuna. Game 3 in this best of 3 series, 1 game apiece. Winner continues on to round 4, the round of 8 in the Challenge Cup. Losers Challenge Cup is over. Stakes couldn't be higher. We'd love to see it.
Especially on a Friday.
Please bear with me as I get the cropping fixed on Scruff's stream. Right, this should be better. Yep, there we go.
You were saying, Corbin?
I was just saying, what better way to spend a Friday evening than what is sure to be a fantastic matchup here?
Certainly can't think of anything I'd rather be doing. Absolutely not. This is great.
Friday, fantastic. What are you looking forward to early game here, Tyler?
I want to see something fast or something slow in Escape. No in between. So I want the bow or like the Cana Burna. That's it.
Ooh, going for those far extremes. I like it. I myself am always partial to a bomb strats. I like to see the different ways that the runners try and cope with that.
Always fun. Always fun. Definitely the most variable, I would say, or pretty variable, that is. Yeah, we're going to be underway in just about 15 seconds or so. This standard start for the pool going through Escape. We'll see what we get. Defeat Ganon 7-7, as all of the Challenge Cup matches are. And here we go.
Indeed, they are off, and that chest is a secret to everybody. So says the uncle.
All right, well, let's open it then. It's 20 rupees. That's fine.
Should have stayed a secret.
I don't know. I'll take 20 rupees this early. You want 24, you want 40 going into CAC if you can manage it. That was an early map check. I saw a crystal at Eastern. Our sharp-eyed trackers there are watching. We have Slowpoke and Miandiam doing our tracking for us today. Some flavor of pendant. There's a Canis Samaria on the uncle. I've got Scruff's stream open, and he's got DP marked as some kind of pendant, probably the blue or red one. It's not marked as red. But there's a hammer
to
put
go
that pain
along with
away.
And a bomb drop from the guard there for MrScruffNinjaTuna. All the good things coming up early in Escape here.
Yeah, and Papa got one too, which is nice. So our runners with the hammer in hand and a bomb each can relax a little bit, breathe a little bit through this escape sequence.
Yep, no more worrying about bomb drops or trying to farm enemies necessarily. It looked like MrScruffNinjaTuna was going to try and grab a couple extra bombs, which is certainly not a bad idea if you can manage it, especially on the way back here to his back of Escape.
Yeah, of course, you want the one to get into the back, but having some more, at least 4 going into the back of Escape, really nice, because you need 3 bombs to get through Kakariko. Another would be really nice in case you need to do the race game. But yeah, plenty of opportunities to get those bombs between here and there.
Yep, our runner's making a very quick time, of course, with that hammer. As you said, one of the faster ways to go through Escape.
Yeah,
coming
hammer
up already on the second key guard.
Yeah, and bow I think is the fastest, but hammer is right there. Does tempered sword damage. Doesn't get a ton better than that. There's a single rupee. That's kind of bad. At least it's out of the way.
Don't mind grabbing a 20 out of a chest, but 1 rupee? Oh, that's almost not even worth opening.
Barely worth the frames.
Cool Papa Bell going to go with a mixture of pot and hammer strat to get rid of that chain guard.
Yeah, and you can see why he did that. It's a little bit safer. You know, you can get the one... it's a little slower because you're walking with the pot instead of with a hammer, but you get one hit in with the pot and it stuns him, so you can come in and whack him. You saw Scruff take a hit there from the ball and chain guard, so a little safer to deal one hit with the pot for sure.
Yep, and the Quake Medallion coming up in Zelda Cell. It'll be a while before we find out whether or not that is useful in any way, shape, or form in this seed.
Yeah, nice to have them early. We are going to have 2 pendants in the Dark World, so that lessens the importance of the medallions a little bit, at least probability-wise. But it is nice to at least have one in hand early.
The one less thing to hunt for late game.
Yeah, exactly right. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody get the bomb pack in Escape. I feel like the last couple seeds I've played, certainly, I mean, I can't speak to everybody, obviously, but, like, I haven't seen, personally, the bomb pack in Escape in a long time. I always have to, like, fish through the variety packs.
It's always the one you're hoping for. That's why it's never there.
Right, yeah.
Both of our runners very quickly moving to the back part of Escape, where they do get a light cone, but for a reminder to all of our newer watchers, the light cone here is only available because they have Zelda, and because we have to do this escape sequence, they are going to need the lamp to light up any other dark rooms in the game.
Yeah, unless they were in a standard sequence forced to go back through this sequence, say because their first glove is in the back of Escape, right? You would be granted the light cone if you had to do that. But yeah, only for these. Those French vanilla Sankart.
I didn't even catch that. I caught that it was a full heart container. I didn't see the refill though. That's kind of nice.
I can think of better places to get that, you know, but it's fine. All right, what's that bomb getting us? It's a piece of heart. It's the Moon Pearl. All right, so that bomb was important.
Early Moon Pearl, definitely nice. And our runners certainly happy that they had the bomb prize pack to go and get that now.
Yeah, and already 2/3 of the way to Dark World access. All we need is a glove.
This is true. This seed might open up early for both of our runners.
And you can see that hammer at play already with Cool Papa Bell finishing his escape sequence a couple seconds before Scruff did, but both right around the 6-minute mark, which is what you want to see. So we'll see if either of our runners... I don't think either of our runners at this point has gotten anything that would draw them away from the kind of normal Kakariko start here. We'll see if either of them chooses to check Lumberjack.
It definitely looks like Scruff is taking a trip up that way. Cool Papa Bell heading distinctly left and going for the Lost Woods checks.
Yeah, a lot of players in Standard will put this off. I'm more of a fan of doing this in Open, or in casual boots, if I've already got a sword and the boots from the start. But given the fact that they're low on money, this gives Scruff an opportunity to get a tree pull, which you could get in the woods as well, but also take a look at the bush crab.
Yeah, that tree pull coming up as more bombs, which is good knowledge to have, but unfortunately doesn't solve his money problem. He does see some money on the Lumberjack ledge. We probably won't be coming back to that anytime.
Yeah, I can't imagine. There's an edge case scenario where, like, there's 300 rupees on Lumberjack, and your first glove is on Zora, and there's no other money in the beginning of the seed. There's a situation where it might be faster to do Aga then farm 300 rupees from Blind's Hut? That would be funny.
That is an incredible edge case. I love it.
I want to see that happen to somebody, not in a race, because it would be very boring to watch.
That would be rough. Cool Papa Bell finding out that there is some money and a heart container in Blind's hideout and some replacement bombs. Kind of nice.
Yep, that 100 rupees there, nice. It's bottle vendor money, so we get to take care of that.
Yep, definitely worth having. Also worth noting, we didn't mention it, they did find their blue mail, which is a nice early safety to find. Especially if they find their other piece of Dark World axes and have to go into the Dark World on few hearts.
And without a sword, the hammer's stronger than the sword, but that hitbox can be finicky. Let's put it that way.
Only if you're looking up or left. The rest of the time, it's perfect, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, we get a bottle and the mirror in the well. People throwing some good stuff down in the well today. That bottle will get them the sick kid check out of the way, and the mirror, always a nice early item to find.
Who throws away a perfectly good mirror?
I don't know.
Also, Kakariko needs to come up with a better system to deal with its garbage than just throwing it in the well.
I mean, some people are stuffing it in Blind's hideout.
I guess that's true.
Chicken Hut holding another 50 rupees, keeping their money just at a nice moderate amount. Not enough for the Zora check, but enough for anything else they might need. Oh, we spoke of the lamp earlier. There it is. No more dark rooms.
Good to have that. Is the Goomba's pick up an item animation another Goomba appears on top of it? I think it was.
I hadn't noticed, but now I'm gonna look.
Watch that when Scruff gets his first crystal. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and it's great.
Cool Papa Bell, meanwhile, making it over to the library, giving us a library check. Just 10 pointy sticks on the library today. Not going to go back for that.
That is indeed two Goombas on top of each other there.
Shout out to all of our sprite developers that make such amazing content for us.
All right, race game garbage, and Cool Papa Bell quits out. He's going to head down to South Shore, I would imagine, here. Yeah, no bow that might push you over towards Eastern. This is, I think, the clear best play. Got that mirror out, so we can clip through these blocks here.
Yep, another useful reason to have the mirror early. That's nice. Definitely coming down to South Shore. Item density location for sure. Mini Moldorm Cave having another 5 items for them. The Dam here having 2.
Yeah, we'll see if Cool Papa does the kind of more standard, as we see Scruff blind checking the race game, not going to pay off today. But we'll see if Cool Papa does the standard kind of head right here over to Mini Moldorm, or he's going that way. The play where you go from the Dam to Agina and then save and quit, and then go to Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod's kind of in the meta, like percolating there a little bit. Scruff doing the mirror noise along with the sweet sounds of the Earthbound soundtrack over there.
And Cool Papa Bell using his bee to great effect to clear out that Moldorm just a little bit faster.
And now he can catch it back. Catch it back.
Oh, don't leave it behind. It's been so loyal for you. Disappointing. As was that cave, really. Not much coming out of there. The swagnet kind of fun, but not really useful for any progression.
Never say no to the OK boomerang there, though.
That is the barely OK boomerang.
Nah, it's okay. That's good. It's my preferred boomerang, to be honest. Papa going all the way over to Ice Rod Cave. This walk a little safer with that blue mail. These crabs only doing 1 heart of damage.
At last, Mini Moldorm proving to be quite the troll here for Scruff, just dodging every Samaria block he can.
Sorry, that was good. While we were waiting, Papa found a sword in Ice Rod Cave.
Our first sword, 13 minutes in, very nice to have. Makes the whole rest of this a lot easier.
Yeah, and looks like Scruff is going to get it as well, walking out of Mini Moldorm Cave as opposed to saving and quitting. Makes sense. They're, nothing that they've found before escape, or nothing that they've found since escape has been progression, per se. They've all been good to have, but, not actually opening up any more checks. So, Cool Papa over to Saha, and perhaps an Eastern Palace dip as we find bombs, a red rupee, and a third bottle already.
Ooh, very early bottles. Scruff finding out the prize pack is very disappointing. Only a single rupee today.
Womp. So, looking a whole lot like we might have a double dip of our Eastern Palace here, that our progression is going to be right in here at this point. Still looking for that glove. A flute would open up a whole bunch up on Mini Moldorm Cave. Scruff walking out.
I wonder where he's headed. This may be a fake flipper to do some water checks. They do have the Moon Pearl, means they can check Waterfall Cave early.
Yeah, I don't know that I love this without Zora money, but that's a cute swimming sprite. With
that is
just
great, the swimming sprite.
Oh, and there's our glove. And so that's Dark World access for Cool Papa Bell in the first chest of Eastern in the 15th minute. He's going to continue on, at least to this next chest.
And meanwhile, Scruff spotting the hook shot over on Lake Hylia Island.
Interesting. So we're going to find those flippers most likely.
Only the map in the second chest of Eastern there, while Scruff finds the man living under the bridge, giving him only a little piece of heart. Scruff swimming down, certainly going to be a waterfall cave check, hoping to find some money, I'm sure, so they can route Zora in with this.
There's our Eastern Big Key. Swimming on land? Well, you must also be walking on water. You must be walking on water then. That's how that works, right?
Something along those lines. Scruff does find money in the waterfall cave, but not enough. Only $50, and gets a free bee as well, which he quickly discards.
That bee could have been useful. Probably not, though.
Some people just don't like bees. Also spotting $20 on Zora's ledge. Unfortunately, nothing useful there.
I don't like bees, so I understand.
Cool Papa Bell coming up on the last check that they can get here in Eastern. Just some bombs. Time to save and quit. Now with Dark World access, we'll see whether or not he goes down south to Hype Cave area or whether he goes over towards Village of Outcasts. Looks like he's going to take the Hype Cave route.
Yeah, I've recently kind of flipped on this. I've always been a go to the village first kind of person. I've recently started doing Hype Cave first, especially if I have the mirror, because you can just mirror over at Dig Game. All right, we got red crystals at Thieves and Swamp, and I saw a green pendant at Skull Woods. I did not catch where the other pendant was.
I believe the other one was at Pod, so we think we have a Pod Eastern, or a Pod pendant. Not a green pendant, but a pendant.
Well, Pendant Pod, always suspicious. We'll see if Scruff decides to bail here after the glove.
Ooh, Fire Rod coming up in Hype Cave for Cool Papa. That is certainly nice to find.
Yeah, that's nice to find. You know, like, Skull is a pendant, so, you know, you don't feel, like, great about then starting at Hype Cave and going this way, but now at least you have the option to go back there and check all of that stuff if necessary. But that Fire Rod is going to be hard required, of course, because of Turtle Rock.
Indeed, one less thing to look for late game. A lot of money early in this Dark World. Cool Papa Bell coming up with 2 different 300 rupee to bring his rupee count right up.
Yeah, Scruff isn't going to be too happy about seeing those, having already made a trip up to the Zora area. Now, if Zora has something, Papa will be able to clear that all out on one trip. And Scruff saving and quitting after the map chest in Eastern Palace, picking up a little bit of time.
Yeah, I can't fault this play, not having the bow. You know, it's unlikely you're going to find it in the other 2 chests. They do take a lot of time. Better to just take that glove and go into the Dark World where there's much more items.
Yeah. I do like checking the second one as well, right? Because you would have to backtrack from that chest anyway. So picking it up right then, I think is a nice solution there. As we get a map check over there on Scruff's side, and Papa is giving us dig game. Just some bombs, though.
Doesn't even bother picking them up.
Not worth the frames.
Gotta save the frames.
I've been told that's the point. Which really I should have listened to, right? Like, if I had remembered that was the point, I might be better at this game.
It's true. That's what I hear. Just go to the place with all of the items and save every frame, and you know,
and then you're done.
You win. Yeah.
GG.
Scruff following close in Cool Papa Bell's footsteps. Also going to take the South Dark World checks with that mirror in hand. Cool Papa Bell going up and going to go into the Dark World at Village of Outcast area. Almost certainly going to go down and try his hand at Thieves Town.
Oh, and Papa juked me out there. Thought he was going into Skull Woods. We'll see with Pendant Skull. We'll see if either of our runners does go in there. Personally, I am team Skull Woods is overworld. Check it every time, and I'm more inclined bad.
Now, if you've practiced it a little bit, Moth decides to cooperate. It's certainly it can be a pretty quick fight. If Moth decides to hang out near the ceiling, that turns the fight around real quick. But both of our runners are definitely capable of doing it.
That's when you use that fire rod. Ooh, there's a bow in Thieves Town.
Well, there's the bow.
That's you know, if you're gonna be fighting Hammer Moth, right, you use the fire rod to get him off the spikes at the top, you know, and then hit the hammer. So, and Scruff committing to the Dark Village skip, headed up the mountain with that glove. We'll be able to do all of Light Death Mountain save Ether Tablet here.
Yeah, interesting play. Our first real big divergence. Definitely, as a viewer of the race, I definitely like to see this.
So just so everybody knows, I'm pretty sure we timed this, and holding a Samaria block above your head while you're driving the old man there, you move maybe a little bit faster, but not faster enough to make up the time that it takes to place the Samaria block in the first place. So it might make you feel better, but it's still slower.
I've honestly never seen that before, and it did make me question it for a minute. So I'm glad that you have the knowledge to drop there on that one.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. You know, you holding a bomb or a Samaria block above your head on the steps can make you go faster. And we saw some flippers up on the top.
Ooh, very nice. That's our flippers, and with that, I believe they can get the hook shot as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Meanwhile, nothing coming up big in Thievestown yet besides that early bow for Scruff. It is a crystal. It is definitely worth completing at this point, but still looking for more useful items out of this Village of Outcasts area.
Scruff not going directly into Hera. That might mean he is planning to head back there afterwards, maybe doing Spiral, then Paradox, then Hera, and then maybe a play into Spike Cave, I could think. It's out of logic without an invincibility item, but I believe he's got a red potion and 8 and 9 hearts. He ought to be able to make it.
Yeah, the only other reason I could think that he would leave Hera behind is if he wanted to have the hook shot first, but that is a long extra walk up the mountain just to save a couple of seconds in Hera with the hook shot.
Yeah, like I understand that impulse, but like, you know where the hook shot is, right? I can understand like all right, maybe the hook shot's over here in Paradox Cave or something like that. Great, check it first, you know. But we know where the hook shot is. Just beat Hera. But if he's going to do it with a Spike Cave check at the end of this, I liked a lot better.
Ooh, finding the red mail over on Paradox. That's certainly a nice find. Even more safety for those Dark World dungeons that he will be doing here shortly. Cool Papa Bell managing to stay on script for this blind fight. For all of our newer viewers, blind is a strangely scripted fight, and if you do the same thing every time, he will do the same thing every time, which makes the fight a lot easier than some of the other dungeon bosses.
Scruff's league teammate, TabbyCat54 in the chat, like, oh yeah, no, totally gonna do Spike Cave, but now I have a feeling they're gonna have words now. But Scruff gonna go get that hook shot, and then with that hook shot, we can full clear Ice Palace now. No, sorry, not Ice Palace. Swamp Palace.
Swamp Palace. Those flippers make it so that he can complete Swamp Palace. Yeah. To be clear, we could clear ice as well if we could get into it.
Yeah, we can't get in there without the Titan Smiths, but yeah. Cool Papa, on the other hand, is headed into Green Pendant Skullwoods.
At least checking the front. I like this play. Scruff deciding to save and quit back to the Sanctuary. Maybe they're going to take a round the world, start at Thievestown and go around the world, ending at Swamp.
Yeah, that saves some mirror transitions. You can do some other stuff on the way. Oh yeah, and that this is a good point. The other 5/6 crystal here is Thievestown, so doing it in this way is a nice loop to be able to do Pyramid Fairy at the end as well.
Yeah, this will work out very nicely, efficiency-wise. As usual, the front of Skullwood should never be left behind as Cool Papa Bell pulls their Titan's Mitts out of the front.
And the mushroom, and that could pay off as well. Titan's Mit's the big prize there, so that's going to work out for Cool Papa Bell. He'll be able to clear some of, not all, but some of that Dark Death Mountain, those Dark Death Mountain checks with those Titan's Mit's on his first trip up there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether or not they take their flippers and immediately come back down to grab their hookshot before going over to the right side of Death Mountain, hoping to route in Hookshot Cave with it. ScruffNinjaTuna, meanwhile, not skipping the front of Skullwoods either, so they are going to find their Titan's Mitts, and that's certainly going to make their Dark World routing nice as well.
Yeah, it's really, really good for Scruff. You wouldn't want to miss those mitts here in Pendant Skullwoods. So just a piece of heart up there on the graveyard ledge. Where is Papa headed next? Oh, not only Scruff is doing a full clear here. He's gonna go kill Mothula as well.
Ooh, this is a play. We'll give them the green pendant, and they don't know where the two items are. It's always possible, and seems to come up more often than not, that the back of Skullwoods has the items. We know that's not true in this case, but they are going to get the green pendant out of it, so it is not a wasted trip back here.
Yeah, and Moth is slightly more likely to have an item than the other checks in here because of key logic. And I would probably also do this same thing in here. You'll be able to... this is a huge, big loop of things now. You can turn in the green pendant after doing Pyramid Fairy, headed over to Pod and EP. So he's just going to be slowly making his way across the entire Dark World here. Finishing up in the eastern area, clearing dungeons as he goes.
Yeah, and they are going to have their bow out of Thieves Town when they get over there, so they will be able to complete Eastern and Pod if they so choose. So this is definitely efficient routing. They're going to be able to clear out the entire Dark World in one giant loop, like you said.
It's really only going to isolate Graveyard Ledge and Catfish as far as Dark World checks here. And you know what? I'll take that trade any day of the week. This boss music is such a lo-fi jam. I love it.
Nice. And Scruff finishing off Moth. Not too many problems there. Using that hammer to great effect.
Red mail helps a lot. Here's that green pendant for Scruff.
As Cool Papa grabs their flippers off of the mountain.
Also skipping Hera, interestingly.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that. I certainly would have dipped into it, being a crystal as it is, but I'm no longer in the tournament, so that must be why. Maybe I should have.
Scruff does not have the hookshot knowledge, right? Or sorry, Scruff does. Cool Papa does not, right?
Cool Papa does not. They do not know that the Lake Hylia Island is where a hookshot is today.
Yeah, so that makes this, maybe he'll be a little bit more likely to head into Hera after doing all the checks over here. He'll be able to do Super Bunny Cave here as well, and check the Turtle Rock Medallion that we'll need. Won't be able to do anything in Hookshot Cave unless the boots are in Super Bunny, and then you can check that first chest. But yeah. We'll be able to see what that, and then we'll see where he heads afterwards.
Yeah, very possible. 33% chance anyway. They could open up Turtle Rock while they're up here.
That's true. They have Quake. And you know what? Maybe the ice rod's on Laser Bridge. Let's just do it.
Seems to happen a lot, more often than it should, for sure. I would be incredibly surprised to see Cool Papa go in and try and complete Turtle Rock.
That'd be pretty aggressive. There's a lot more out there. Yeah.
It is game 3, but that's aggressive even for game 3.
If I had the ice rod, I might go do it. Fighter sword and all. But, especially if you're skipping Hera, maybe you're hoping to be able to go mode both of these things. I don't know.
With the ice rod, it would make a lot of sense to just go in there, get it over with, finish up the entire mountain while you're up here. But without it, that's just a little bit too risky, I think. Scruff actually not isolating Graveyard Ledge, deciding to go along the north on Dark World and not leave that behind.
All right, we're going to get our TR medallion info. It is Ether, so that choice off the board for Cool Papa, unless the key's under the mat here in Super Bunny Cave.
Yep, one more item that our runners are going to have to find before they can finish this seed.
What else are we looking for at this point? We need the ice rod, and we need the flute, and we need ether, and that's pretty much it. Another sword as well, and maybe the boots, I suppose.
The boots are always a possibility, but with desert being a pendant, that's a little less likely. Sword, absolutely going to require that, and then as you said, ice rod, ether at least, and a flute might be all we need.
So Papa is headed into Hera, is doing this sort of thing where he is was hoping to find the hook shot over on East Death Mountain. Not finding it is gonna go into Hera here and probably could very well check Spike Cave as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Wouldn't be a bad check, honestly, without that hookshot knowledge. Remains to be seen if they will mirror and catch that Lake Hylia Island when they go around the Dark World. I would imagine so. It is going to keep them out of most of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, nobody's going to the Swamp Palace without the hookshot. And I wouldn't be surprised if, being now that Papa's almost done with the mountain, and the flippers really being the only progression up here, heading over to that area and getting that knowledge really quickly, I feel like is pretty likely on that side.
Very possible. They haven't done their water checks yet, so they will likely route that in as well when they decide to do it. These Stalfos not playing nice for Scruff in Thieves Town.
Do they ever?
I mean, sometimes they move right out of your way, if you're lucky.
All right, there's the Hera Big Key. So all of this, unless CPB finds some progression in here, all of this is pure time loss at this point, because Scruff will be able to Herapot through here and make it quite a bit faster. Although that big key in the basement, if there's an item in the big chest, that could be really huge.
Yeah, if there's an item there and Scruff comes up here still needing a few items, it's possible that they could go back and check that big chest even after they finish the dungeon, if they're looking for something in particular.
Not really going to come up, though.
Yeah, it is an item, not going to be useful. As Cool Papa makes his way up to the Moldorm, using hammer strats, of course. Only 3 hits with a hammer takes down Moldorm, and gets it real quick. Not even close to getting bodied around or knocked off the edge there. Moldorm playing really nice today. Manages to get their second crystal. We'll see where they go next. Meanwhile, Scruff finishing off the basement of Thieves Town. Gonna go up and finish off Blind, and then take their mitts and finish off the Village of Outcast area. Unfortunately, finding out that the key needed for that left side is in the Maiden's Cell, so now they're going to go back over and open up that big chest. I missed it earlier, but I think they forgot that they didn't have it the first time they came down there. Cool Papa, meanwhile, looks like they are going to go do their water checks, and they're going down to do their water checks in clear view of Lake Hylia Island, so they are going to get that knowledge, turning right around and deciding to go back to that portal so they can grab that hook shot right away.
Classic. I love it.
Love those screech of the brakes there.
Is hopping out of the water and walking over here faster than saving and quitting? It's probably pretty close.
I think that would be close from where they were at. Probably pretty close. This might be faster just because of the delay in menuing and loading back in.
Yeah.
Scruff finishing up their blind fight, also managing to stay pretty much on script, finishing off with no problem whatsoever. Gets their second crystal as well. Third dungeon completed.
Textbook fight there for Scruff. Well done.
Cool Papa grabs their hook shot and continues on with their original plan of finishing up the water checks. Going to check under the bridge, probably go over to Zora. They do have the money, unlike Scruff when they made their water checks. Cool Papa is going to have enough money to see what Zora has if they so choose.
Yeah, so that could be an opportunity for CBB to make up a little bit more time here. Although, I mean, I say make up time, but that's not really accurate. They've done most of the same checks. They've done them in a different order, but they're pretty close here.
Yeah, almost impossible at this point to tell who's in the lead. They've completed, like you said, almost all the same stuff, slightly different order, so they're in slightly different places now. Scruff going to manage to check the Smith chain. Meanwhile, Cool Papa deciding to go right into Ice Palace.
That's aggressive. I like it. Fighter Sword Ice Palace isn't fun, but you've got you got the hook shot, you got the Canis Samaria. It's probably pretty okay. I'm not sure how he is on potions. Could be something to keep an eye on as we get later in the dungeon. Think maybe he's got a red but not a green, which could be tricky.
Yeah, the red's the only one that I can think of that they have. I think bees were in the other ones, which don't really help in the cold stare fight. Trying to get a quick kill on these pen gators with the bombs, not quite getting all of them, but close.
Just use the hook shot. Just use the hook shot. One shots them.
Could have used Quake Medallion as well.
No, yeah. Scruff giving us our first look at the Smith chain here. Going to do a fake powder.
Nice use of that mushroom there. Just $20, and Cool Papa pulling off a nice icebreaker on their second attempt. Walls mean nothing to Link in Rando.
Fake powder is nice when it's like on your way, right? Where it's the worst thing that you have to do is drain your magic, right? There's the powder, so Papa won't need to worry about it. And Scruff finds the boots. The boots at the blacksmith, dwarven cobblers today.
Now, whether those are required or not, they're certainly super nice to have. Will speed up their travel, not while they're walking around with the purple chest there. Scruff deciding to leave the purple chest behind, maybe? Or...
Yeah, this is fine. Since he's already done Cave 45, you can leave that purple chest wherever you want in the Dark World, and then as long as the first time you mirror is on the screen with the lockpick guy, then it's fine. You could go anywhere and drop that purple chest. As long as the first time you mirror is on this next next screen, you'll be okay. And possible to leave it there because he's already done K45.
Yeah, very true. A less used trick. I'd totally forgotten that he had already completed K45 and could route this way. I never seem to be able to, get lucky and already have done K45 when I get to Purple Chest. But pulling it off there, getting a nice heart container for their troubles, and positioning themselves perfectly go right into Swamp Palace.
No, this isn't great. Papa, no, don't. No, you do not have enough magic for Cold Stare, and you don't have Bombos.
This is not...
He could be trying to dupe... Oh, does he have a green goo? Did that come up in...
He does indeed.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
I was worried for nothing. Getting a lot of double and triple hits with that fire rod there, which is certainly nice.
Yeah, that was great.
Getting down to a single puff really quickly, finishing it off with the hammer. A very, very nice Cold Stare fight from Cool Papa there.
Yeah, and it seems like those 3 items were super early there in Ice, because I feel like I looked down, and he was on like the spike chest, and then I looked up and he was going into Cold Stare. I was like, what?
You and me both. I think the only thing of interest they found in there, of use, I should say, is the powder. But another dungeon down for Cool Papa brings their crystal count up to 3.
Scruff, on the other hand, has made his way into Swamp Palace. Makes a lot of sense. It's that other 5-6 crystal, continuing that big, long, dark world loop that he's had going on for a while.
Yeah, slow and steady. Definitely getting a lot of stuff done, dungeons and stuff. While it seems like Cool Papa is running all over the place and getting a lot of checks done, they're pretty much still neck and neck.
Yeah, neither of them has found that next piece of the...
Need about 3 items left. We are still looking for all 3 of those items.
That's how it happens.
The ether and the flute. The scamfish today only giving 10 pointy sticks for the 500 rupees. Most expensive arrows in Hyrule.
Yeah, they're not even silver. They're just regular arrows.
And the upcharge on that is terrible.
Yeah, no. Retail, man. Ugh. Order those wholesale.
Meanwhile, Scruff deciding to do left side swamp, it looks like. Going to set up for the diver down trick.
Yeah, I like this. 3 items back in here. You know, that's quite a bit. All right, so we're seeing, as Cool Papa heads into swamp as well here, I feel pretty comfortable saying that he's got a small lead. Because at this point, he's a crystal up on... Or he's 2 crystals up on Scruff. Those are pretty quick ones in Hera and in Ice, but still.
Yeah, Scruff having the boots, which is always super nice to have, and will speed up his overall travel. And he has done like the Smith Chain, a few other overworld checks that Cool Papa has not done.
That's true. The Smith Chain is the big thing, right? So Cool Papa's done Super Bunny Cave and Zora. Scruff did the Smith Chain. Smith Chain is the only one of those things that paid off at all. So, yes, super close, I'll say.
Yeah, remains to be seen whether or not those boots will actually be required in any way, shape, or form, whether they will just be for convenience and speed's sake. We do got to go fast, but remains to be seen if they'll be needed.
But even if they're not, right, every minute that Scruff has them and CPP doesn't, is time saved, time gained for Scruff, just by moving faster.
Frame by frame, nothing coming up on left side swamp except for a small piece of heart, it looked like.
Yeah, but with these first 2 chests, I can confirm the first 2 chests were the compass in the mirror, or the compass in the map, so you go do left side first every time, right?
Absolutely. I would expect Cool Papa to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, with a guaranteed 2 items over there that you know is the case heading into that hub room, you know, doing it first is faster because you get to do diver down. It's only, you know, better to skip it and leave it and do it later if you think that you might not go do it, because of course doing it is slower than not, or doing it slower than not doing it. But doing it first is faster than doing it second. So
yeah, especially when they're still looking for at least 3 items. MrScruffNinjaTuna finding the silver arrows in the back of the swamp. Cool Papa will certainly grab those as well. Finding the big key in an unfortunate location, going to take that back and check the big chest right away so they don't have to dip back into swamp in order to do so.
Well, that's smart to go up that stairway in that room because it's closer and doesn't suck you back in like the other one does. So that's smart.
Yeah, I always make the mistake of going to the wrong staircase and doing the kickback of shame as it sends you back downstairs.
And I know there's a way to avoid it, but I can never remember it when I'm playing. People have told me a number of times, but I can never remember what it is. I thought it was just do a key dash, but then I tried that and that didn't work. So there must be something else to it. You key dash and hold left. Ah, that's what I was missing. The left part.
Forgot to hold left, of course.
Yeah.
How silly.
Shout outs to Mandiem, one of our trackers in chat for that.
As we predicted, Cool Papa does indeed go to left side swamp. Not going to risk leaving that behind. Scruff, meanwhile, almost to Argus, which still on the fighter sword makes this fight very annoying. You either have to menu or do a couple of very precise sword spins in order to get these puffs gone.
The spins aren't that precise. All you need to do is release the spin, release the button while the hook shot is retracting. It's tighter if you're trying to get double puffs like Scruff is, but it's pretty easy to do a double spin on one puff at a time if you just, release the B button as the hook shot's retracting. It's pretty free. But getting into that rhythm, and if you get hit there, it's definitely a lot trickier and more dangerous if you're trying to hook 2 puffs at once. Nice job there, hiding Argus around.
That snag on that last puff that he was keeping away from Argus was nice.
Yeah, that was good.
With that, all the puffs are down. Gonna pull out the silver arrows and try and Robin Hood this fight.
Oh man, this is always so tricky. Really tough to time. Nice job.
Does get it, and that is their 3rd dungeon, 2nd crystal.
So it'll be interesting to see whether CPB heads back to check the big chest or not. Or if he goes back in to check the big chest after getting the big key.
Yeah, one of those things every runner has their own opinion on, whether or not they want to turn around and go back or just go into the dungeon afterwards. It looked like Cool Papa is going to leave that chest behind for a second and go and finish off the boss. And we'll see whether or not they dip back into Swamp to go check that big chest afterwards.
Yeah, having seen all 3 dungeon items now, we know that there is an item in there, which might make it a little bit more attractive for him to go in, but we'll see. Scruff with that big bomb.
Very nice bomb dash there. If you manage to take damage and then dash on the very next frame, that bomb will follow you along, which it usually does not. Scruff going to give us this Pyramid Fairy check and the Pyramid Ledge, which we haven't seen yet. Just some bombs, not important today.
Pyramid Ledge, my least favorite check in the game. Papa with a really nice Argus fight there.
Yeah, that final hit was a very nice snipe there. Nothing in Pyramid Fairy either, so the Pyramid coming up a little bland today. Scruff heading over to the Pod Eastern area, which we'll see which one they do first, whether or not they decide to dip into Pod, even though it is a pendant, and whether or not they just go straight into Eastern to finish that first.
I think you do Eastern first. There's still, if you're Scruff, there's still 2 items in there, right? And for all he knows, the flute is on Armos, right? So normally I would say you do pod first, but given that it's a pendant and Eastern is a crystal, I might do Eastern first here. Green pendant, just a heart piece there, so that's some time given back to Cool Papa Bell.
Yep, green pendant not going to be required today, unless by some strange mechanic the important item ends up on the pedestal, which we haven't been able to check yet because of no book.
Totally possible, though.
I think
Ether
all
could be there,
three
Ice Rod
items.
could be there. Yeah. Flute
all
could be
three
there,
items
yeah.
could be there. So your ped hopes are not dead yet, chat. Just so you know. Scruff does indeed decide to do Eastern first, as we were saying. Probably the better play for him, having 2 items left in here. Ordinarily pod the better play because it's so item dense, but being a pendant and having 2 items left in Eastern makes this a pretty reasonable decision.
Yeah, and along those lines, I wouldn't be surprised if Cool Papa Bell decides to head over there after Big Bomb, which I imagine he will. It would not surprise me if he does pod first, having already gotten all but the boss item in here in Eastern.
True, 1 item difference, but a lot on the mind. 2 checks in here versus 1 check in here with the time commitment. And runners are running out of checks besides this pod Eastern area, I think. Catfish is still available. Agina has not been checked yet.
Yep, and CPB still has the Smith chain, and Scruff hasn't shown us the boots checks either. But seeming more and more like Pendant Pod, our old friend, is the most likely answer.
Pendant Pod guaranteed to always have items, it seems. Scruff giving some Laga strats using that Cane of Burna to hit that switch rather than the typical damage boost.
Yeah, I always like that. Cape's a little bit better because you don't get the lag, but that's one of those things that Quick Swap makes viable, and I think a positive change. It's good.
Yeah, a lot of strats come about just because of the quickness of Quick Swap, making it so you can change quickly between items. Sometimes decisions were made based on whether or not you'd have to menu. Not the case when you're using Quick Swap.
Now we got some Simon and Garfunkel going on in the chat. I'd like to see that.
Correctly predicting as you did, Cool Papa goes into pod first, while Scruff finishes up the Armos fights. Blink and you'll miss it. Silver arrows make this fight go over very quickly. But the third item we were curious about in Eastern is just a piece of heart. No progression there.
So yeah, our runners most likely going to be right on top of each other in pod here, looking for that progression. It will take Papa a little bit more time to get back to Armos without those boots. I wouldn't, honestly, with the boots, I wouldn't be surprised that if Scruff makes up the kind of apparent gap that we've got between these runners here in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, both of them sitting now on 4 dungeons apiece, but one of Scruff's dungeons was the green pendant, which turned out not to be useful, at least as of yet. So it still looks, at least from our point of view, as though Cool Papa has a slight lead right now, but Scruff has the equipment to change that quickly. So far, though, Pod not showing us much. Of course, the front of pod always having lots of keys and most of the items ending up in the back just due to that key logic that we spoke of before.
The mullet dungeon, as they say.
Yep.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Cool Papa, I believe, did find the big key in the front, however. Probably going to pull off. Nope.
Yeah, you could consider hammer jumping there, but all right, there's a book. That's progression. That
Reading material.
Gets us into Desert Palace.
Of course, Pendant Pod having the keys to another pendant dungeon. The desert being a pendant.
Still looking for that flute. Scruff trying to pull up the stair extension clip here.
Oh, very nicely done, too. I think with that book, we have logical access to all 3 dungeons, pendant-wise.
Yep, so Ped's here, just waiting.
Just going to nag the back of our minds while we watch for a while.
Pendant Pod, just empty. I think there's an item on Helmasaur, though. We've seen all 3 dungeon items.
Mm-hmm.
But Papa is out. We'll see if Scruff decides to go beat Helma, already having 1 pendant in his possession.
Yeah, definitely a chance for some divergence here. Scruff may decide to play this aggressive and just beat the dungeon while they're here. Hard to fault. It is a pendant dungeon, but you're already through the front. Might want to finish it off, especially with those boots, making it just a little bit faster.
I will say the Mr. Saturn Village theme song makes this dungeon very silly, I have to say.
Yeah, some MSUs, I mean, they're fantastic, and this is one of them. But they don't really capture the intensity or the danger of certain dungeons or the Dark World, which just makes it all the funner. Especially with that Goomba sprite running around.
Yeah, it's very, very silly.
Scruff, as I said, deciding that it is worth his time to go and kill Helmasaur and get that second pendant. If Helmasaur has an item or if the pedestal decides to come up with something, this could be a good play for him.
Yeah, it's potentially a big swing here in this race. As Pampa making his way back to Armos Knights. Hopefully for his sake, he does Smith Chain soon. We'll get those boots. I could see him doing that next, and then kind of looping, because that puts you with Purple Chest down by Desert to go dip in there with the book, and also check Bombo's tablet as well. So I could see that as a potential next move here for CPB.
Yeah, the only other thing they could possibly be waiting for would be to find that flute, which would make it a little bit faster to check the Purple Chest at least. But I like your routing idea there better.
Yeah, because really all we've got, and nope, he's headed right in to Desert this way. He's just going to check Bombo's tablet on the way. I'm going to put Smith Chain off, hoping to find that flute first.
Yeah, Scruff with Chain...
That was a good hammer hit to the side. That was good.
Manages to get a silver arrow into Helmasaur for ending the fight real quick. Cool Papa skipping the Smith Chain to go straight over to check. What you doing there, Cool Papa?
I think that was just to avoid damage from the guy here. The Ropa? I think it's a Ropa.
Yeah, the Smith chain, one of those checks that it does take time, so it's always
Vanilla Bombos, everybody.
Vanilla Bombos. Going to need a Master Sword before they can pull that down. Also, don't know whether or not that's going to be required.
Scruff headed into ice. So, going to be showing us some things that CBB has already done. So, new information here from Cool Papa Bell in Desert Palace. We'll see if those boots are going to be logically required.
Yep, we're going to need a key of some kind in this chest to keep it from being boots locked. Small key is a good sign.
Gets us halfway there. Another 2 checks here over on the right side.
Scruff does indeed decide to use that hook shot for the single hit on the pen gators.
All right, and there's our big key in the compass chest in Desert Palace. So, and there's the flute.
And the flute.
Goodbye. Oh, I thought he was just gonna nope out. He is going to check the torch in the big chest, though, here.
Yeah, while you're here, not a bad idea. The flute, a fantastic item, was required. It doesn't open up too much. Opens up the mire area. Otherwise, all areas that they've already been to.
Will make it a lot easier to... Well, that's not true. I was about to say, got Hookshot Cave up there as well, but if something's in there that we need, it's going to be a while before we get there. So, we mirror out. He's going to get stuck.
Yep. Remembers too late that after you go into desert, those blocks move back into place, and you cannot go out the same way you came in.
I don't agree with... He's going over here to check Agina, which he hasn't done yet. Just nobody's done yet. At that point, just save and quit and come back and flute over there and do it. I don't know that this is, you know...
I would agree.
Yeah.
It makes sense logically. You're here, you feel like you should check it, but at the same time, it would be faster to just save and quit, activate your flute. You're going to be back in the area soon enough with the flute anyway. This does save them a mere transition, I guess, but I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, you could, or even, hell, just activate the flute and then do it from Checkerboard Cave.
Oh, but
it is the ice rod,
paying off
though.
a little bit. That is the ice rod. 100% required. Been available since the beginning of the game. Might make that TR play a little more palatable.
Yeah, we're definitely, once we activate that flute, we're headed straight to 6.
Almost certainly.
You know, we want to see what medallion we're going to need for Turtle Rock. Will it be Quake? Will it be Ether, the same one that we need for Turtle Rock that we don't have yet? Will it be that Vanilla Bombos that we saw? And so it's sword locked? We're over an hour in. We're still on Fighter's Sword here.
Yeah, this is a little rough. Wondering where those other swords could be. And at 1 hour and 7 minutes, the duck is loose on Cool Papa Bell's side.
Oh, Scruff down to half heart. Oh, gets the last hit in. Whew, boy. Unclench.
That keeping that ice block up at the top, definitely a good idea there at the end.
This is an interesting play. Papa going over here to do the magic bat, but not going into the dark world first to do the smiths and like just to do the whole chain.
Yeah, I definitely would have tried to route this in with the Smith chain. I mean, I can see what they're trying to avoid that Smith chain as much as possible, checking things that are, close.
Then just avoid that.
Yeah, that's the other option is if you're not going to do the Smith chain, just leave this check behind as well. The one-off Agina coming up strong for him, but plays like that, a little risky to continue making.
All right, Scruff, now a little bit behind, is going to be headed over here and checking Bombos tablet, gonna get that vanilla Bombos information, and head into desert, get his flute.
Meanwhile, we're going to find out that ether is indeed required for Misery Mire as well. We are 2 items away from go mode here. We're going to need to find another sword and the ether medallion.
I wouldn't be surprised to find at least one of those here in the Mire area. Well, all right. I tried to manifest it for our runners there, but it didn't quite work.
No, commentator curse only works when we're talking about bad things that could happen to our runner. TR and the hookshot cave, I think, would be my guess as to where some of that progression might be.
That seems, yeah, with the ether medallion can't be in TR, of course, but that might be your next stop. If you're Cool Papa, like, we know it's like, should you do Smith Chain before going up there? I don't know. But, he's going to turn into Mushroom. We haven't seen this yet.
Good check here. Also, the boots checks have not been done yet either. Scruff will probably pull those out before too long as well. But those could be another place where either a sword or the ether medallion are hiding. Just $20 for the mushroom today. Seems like a strange economy going on in Hyrule when arrows are worth 500, but a unique mushroom is only worth 20.
I mean, supply and demand. Only one person wants the mushroom, right? Whereas arrows are very useful.
The guards are certainly firing them a lot, so that's probably keeping the price up.
It's clearly not an interesting mushroom if it was only worth 20 rupees. All right, this is good news for Cool Papa Bell, is committing to the Smith Chain here. We'll get those boots. We'll see if he does the whole chain here. We know that Purple Chest will be a lot faster for him to do with the flute. Not a lot faster. Scruff was able to dash the whole way there, but he is going to get those boots here in just a second, which is really good.
Yeah, a little surprised by this play. Definitely a good play for him to be making. We know that'll get him the boots. As long as he held it off, I would have expected him to hold off a little bit longer, but a good check is a good check no matter when you make it.
Yeah, I could see wanting to do this because these 3 checks and Catfish are the last in logic checks for him that aren't on the mountain, right? So I can very much see, as he'll pick up that Cane of Burner there, I could see him wanting to take all those to try to maximize the chance that maybe you only need to do one more mountain climb,
Yeah, absolutely. If you manage to find ether, you can finish off Misery Mire, and then your last stop is the mountain. I guess it does make sense. A little bit of anger for the cobblers there, deciding that they will make shoes no more. Scruff, continuing on their decision to do pendant dungeons, decides to full clear desert. That'll give them their 3rd pendant.
We might get a blind ped pull.
We might.
By the way, though that boots pick up Tyler Salt's saltiest moment of the match. The brand is strong.
Very nice use of the motto there. Ice Rod ended up being in Agina today, which both of our runners put off until over an hour.
So interestingly, Scruff has had the boots for like half an hour when Cool Papa Bell didn't, and he is the first one to do the boots checks, or Cool Papa Bell is the first one to do the boots checks, of course. So our runners have finally converged at this point. They've done all of the same checks at this point, with the exception that Cool Papa Bell has done Tower of Hera and has done Super Bunny Cave. But other than that, they've done all of the same stuff, basically. I guess Scruff has the Landmo and has all the pendant kills that Cool Papa Bell doesn't have. But at this point, Papa's got a small lead, I would say.
Yeah, you see the effectiveness of those boots. Cool Papa Bell having a crystal dungeon above Scruff, but the boots allowing him to finish off the 3 pendant dungeons almost at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that. That those boots were worth the amount of time that it took Scruff to kill Mothula, Landmo, and Helma. That's about as much time as it gained him.
Yeah, and they're headed in that direction. We might gotta
activate the flute first.
The flute. I was getting hyped too early here. If the ped decides to actually hold ether, or even a sword, those 3 pendant dungeons could come into play real quick. Almost more likely that Cool Papa Bell's about to find us something here in Spike Cave, or in Hookshot Cave. Spike Cave would also be interesting, though. I don't think we've seen that.
We have not. Neither of our runners went there. A shovel.
A fetch quest.
Ugh.
And a whole lot of nothing else.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
I
think we might be about to see this ether tablet, or the ether medallion on ped here.
Get your hype in chat. We have a blind ped pool, and there's not many locations left. This does have a good percentage of having something.
Could be up here on vanilla ether tablet too. And there it is on ped. It
is indeed a ped seed today.
Wow. Oh man, that might be GG.
That is a impressive swing to Scruff, having a huge advantage all of a sudden, having completed the 3 dungeons necessary to get their ether. They are only a sword away from go mode, and a lot of checks now open to them that they can find them: Turtle Rock, Misery Mire, and Gannett's Tower.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially go mode. You have to assume that you're going to get a sword here. He's not going to be checking too many other chests along the way, I would imagine. Mire Shed makes sense. It's right here. You want to see if you can get a sword before Vidi. But, oh, man, that's a huge swing.
Yeah, this is going to be rough for Cool Papa Bell. They are going to pretty much guaranteed last location this pedestal. They're going to check everything, and the only reason they're going to check the pedestal is they run out of locations that they could possibly check. They're going to beat all the other bosses, hoping they have what he needs.
No, he's going to go read ped
he's
right
gonna go
now.
Read it now.
Which is good. I don't know that it's going to be enough, but it is good. Yeah, so he's going to go up there and beat Mothula, or check ped and then beat Mothula. And I think, this is the play that he needed to make to have a chance here. But, I think having to go all the way back through Palace of Darkness on its own is super painful.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. He's got a lot of time to catch up now. Scruff need a mad dash for the finish for him, with a pretty secure lead at this point. Cool Papa Bell, it's not insurmountable. Cool Papa Bell could definitely come back, especially since they haven't found another sword. But they are going to need to move quickly. That's
the thing, though. I don't know where's Cool Papa Bell gonna find a sword. I mean, Cool Papa Bell isn't going to find a sword here while looking while clearing pendants.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I meant more along the lines of Scruff having to do some of the hardest dungeons in the game on Fighter Sword.
On Fighter Sword, yeah.
Bad things could happen to Scruff that could allow a little bit of catch-up time for Cool Papa Bell. But with Red Mail, that is going to be tough.
Yeah, Red Mail helps a lot. Red Mail, 14 hearts, it's about as tanky as you could hope to be in a tournament race, I think.
Interesting choice on Cool Papa's side, deciding actually they might be out of locations already and know this is one of the last plays, deciding to beat Moth and get their pendant.
Well, you figure
so
you figure that since this is the green pendant, you figure that if it's not ped, you're gonna go do this immediately anyway, right?
Very true.
Since it's the green pendant, and that I think is that and catfish, I think are the only other in logic checks for Cool Papa Bell. So that might be the only checks accessible, period. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense. Moth not being helpful. There we go.
I was going to say, got to be careful there. Moth was not playing nice as in the game. Hammer Moth can be a pretty quick fight if Mothula plays along. If they don't, it gets rough pretty quick.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
But Cool Papa does pull it off, manages to get their green pendant. Hopefully they mirror right here and check pedestal. I can't imagine they won't.
Yeah, no, they have to. They're right here. They got the mirror out, so. Yeah, so gonna get the bad news here.
We'll expect some angry slashes here. I'll make a liar out of me. You bomb the Smiths and then you don't bomb the Ped for having that bad news?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
If the Ped can't feel bad about itself, the Smiths can.
Where was that Quake medallion? Escape?
Yep. So, I think the second, or it was Zelda Cell, so it was like the fourth chest in the game being
amazing. Quake. Completely useless.
Completely not necessary. Completely useless.
Would have saved both of our runners' time in Pengator Room. That's it.
Yep. Misery Meyer being cruel and not giving up much. Scruff is deciding to clear out the chest in here, looking for their sword.
Did we see? We haven't seen both items then. If he was still looking there, so there is an item on Vitreous, but Fighter Sword Vitreous, not fun.
Now they do have the silver arrows, 19 of them in stock. True. They, as long as they don't miss too many shots, should be okay. The only thing they have to worry about then is not finding more arrows before they get to GT.
Been doing too many main tournament matches where there are no silvers. I've totally forgotten about them.
Scruff using the ice rod there to try and maintain their spooky action glitch
while having the boots, which is interesting.
I mean, if you're not very good at dash blocking or dash samarying, kicking up dust while you samari block,
I guess
he does manage to keep the spooky action and use it to good effect to get through that room pretty quick. So hard to argue with results there. I myself will often shoot a silver arrow to maintain my spooky action if I don't feel like trying the boots.
Oh man,
I mean
that's tough. That adds a bunch of lag too.
It does, but you're guaranteed not to lose it because if you
you have plenty of time.
Yeah, you don't kick up enough dust or you kick it up too early, you lay the block down, and you lose your spooky action. Not the case when a silver arrow full of lag is flying through the screen.
That is definitely true.
Scruff taking out Vitreous really quick. In the time it took me to make that bad comment, manages to take down Vitreous with 8 arrows to spare.
That's interesting. Oh, I guess he knew about Ether. I was like, I don't know why I'm here first. If you're Cool Papa Bell and do Helma before Landmo, but since you had that green pendant, might have been a sword. I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, you don't want to pass up too many locations that are at least on the way and quick to check.
I mean, he's doing these 3 checks all in a row anyway, but Scruff now with an entire dungeon lead.
Yeah, still got to finish Hera, but that'll be super quick given that they have the hookshot and can Herapot up to the boss. Cool Papa, meanwhile, going to have to clear Misery Meyer, and I don't remember where the big key was, but I don't think it was too early in the dungeon.
in Mire. Yeah, I honestly didn't see it. And chances are decent that he would check a couple of those chests anyway, looking for a sword.
Yeah. Scruff gonna use the bomb strats to do the Harapot today.
Yeah, I like the bomb strats. I know there are setups for hook speed, but in my experience, doing the hook speed setup is just get hook speed and then like smash your head into the pot a bunch and hope it works.
That is in fact the official strat, I believe.
Oh, that's the official strat.
I think so. It's just slam your head into the pot and hope that you clip in by one frame. I learned the bomb strats myself early on and always like them better just because you can always do them regardless of whether you have the boots. But
right,
I do use the boot strats now and then.
And the boots even make the bomb strat a little bit nicer, a little bit easier. You don't have to kind of futz around looking for the right pixel. You just bonk off of that. You bonk off to that peg, and you're right on the pixel you need.
Yep, that is quick. We have dueling bosses here as Cool Papa fights Helmasaur, and Scruff decides to take on Moldorm.
1, 2, 3.
Kind of a risky move, that last one. Almost got knocked into the pit, but takes down Moldorm really quick and easy. Gets their 6th crystal.
Yep, right as Papabell is getting his 3rd pendant. Gonna go grab that ether medallion. But one full Misery Mire behind at this point.
Scruff, meanwhile, still on the hunt for a sword. Anything that's close enough to check quickly, getting checked.
Except for Spike Cave.
Except for Spike Cave. That's not quick. I'm guessing our swords are on Spike Cave, in the dig spot, and on Catfish.
Cool Papabell at least showed us Spike Cave, so we don't need to worry about that.
I completely missed it on their side. Good.
It was bombs, I think, so.
That's probably why I missed it.
Probably.
A quick 3 pendant dungeons down for Cool Papa, and they're headed to get their much sought after ether medallion. We'll see how aggressive they play after this. Scruff deciding to check a lot of chests on the way. We'll see if Cool Papa just runs past most of them.
Oh, no bomb on Ped. I like to use the magic powder to do that, like I'm sprinkling salt over the thing that just screwed me over. All right, 3 swords on Laser Bridge. Let's go.
The way things are shaping up, we may indeed have a Master Sword Silver's Ganon fight. They only managed to find 1. Swords could be buried in GT, for example.
Both of our runners doing bird toss, which you love to see.
Always approve the bird toss. That is the only true way to play. If you skip bird toss, your entire run is a void.
Editor's note, no it's not, but we will make fun of you.
Scruff making their way into Turtle Rock, their final dungeon, after a all dungeons seed.
Most dungeons. We
Most
didn't do Aga, but yeah. But for a ped seed, we're sitting here at about 90 minutes. That's pretty good.
That's true.
both of our runners have played pretty clean, execution-wise, I would say. No real big mishaps.
No, I would agree. A lot of routing divergences, but nothing that could be considered really a mistake or an execution problem from either runner.
Oh no, until right now. Runs out of magic there for coolpapabell. I don't remember where that big key was. He is going to go back, though, and relight these torches to check the compass chest. That's probably smart.
It is. Commentator's curse. We had to say something. We won't tell him about that one when it comes to interview time. I believe chat told us the key was in the lobby.
That's what we believe, yes. Meanwhile, in TR, no swords yet. We do have the big key in hand. That was over in the double roller room. So we'll see what Scruff does here with the lava chest. Could skip it, could open it for a sword. Could go either way, really.
Could. Depends on how they feel. It is a little bit of a time sink to go over there and check it, but it could have the sword that you want. Tough call.
Yeah, I agree with chat here. I think he probably checks it, given the fact that he full cleared Mire. You know, if he was looking for tempered, maybe he wouldn't look for it. Maybe he wouldn't check this, but here it is. It's just the compass.
Ooh, the worst thing to pull out of that chest at that time, really. Given that they've checked Hookshot Cave and Lava Chest and all those others, I wouldn't be surprised to see them mirror and do Mimic Cave. It is a little more of a significant time drop, but their playstyle has definitely led me to believe they really want that sword.
Yeah, I would think so. coolpapabell making up a little time here, skipping out on the right side of Misery Mire. Going to work out. Nothing over there but keys.
Another 10 pointy sticks for Scruff's trouble.
Some convenient drops there from the mimics as well.
coolpapabell also managing to keep their spooky action glitch activated while going through Mire.
Yeah, interestingly, he in the compass room, he had pulled out the lamp in there to try to light the last torch. Didn't have the magic for it, had to double back. If he had been able to use the lamp there, it would have ruined Spooky. And that's one of the things that does that, so. Lamp and powder, the two main things.
Another really quick vitreous fight on coolpapabell's side, saving 4 silver arrows when he's done with it. Scruff, meanwhile, finding the red shield, not the kind of upgrade that they were trying to find here in Turtle Rock. We'll see if Laser Bridge holds our answer, which...
3 swords. 3 sword bridge. It's like 3 Wolf Moon, but 3 sword bridge.
Going for the safety door, in fact.
I don't hate it. That's fine.
On Fighter Sword, well, you're basically facing Hammer Trinex, and that's never a fun fight.
As someone who took 3 tries to beat Hammer, like Master Sword Hammer Trinex on ladder the other night, totally fine with this.
Ooh, Laser Bridge coming up mostly empty. Red potion for safety is all you find in there, which seems like a kind of a cruel consolation prize.
It couldn't have at least been blue, there. You know?
I believe that's all 4 bottles as well. We found the first 3 within the first 15 minutes, I believe it was. The other one holding out for an extra hour.
Bottle percent done.
Oh, Cool Papa getting dead rocked there, unfortunately.
No time lost.
Worst.
This happened to Scruff in that exact same spot, going to Turtle Rock as well. So.
I didn't even notice. Dead rocks are the worst enemy in the game. The strongest enemy in Hyrule, no doubt. Even the Butter Sword does nothing against them, and anything that can stand a hit with the Butter Sword is oof. A pretty good fight overall for Scruff, finishing off the two heads without letting any ice touch the floor, which is very nice. Meanwhile, Cool Papabell just entering the dungeon.
That's about as good as a hammer fight gets.
Managing to get one hammer hit on the head. Dancing around a little bit, manages to get the other hit in. Pretty quick overall, very nice fight on Scruff's side. That will be their final crystal. We are headed over to GT.
Hey now. I think there's something we like to do over here on this channel when we head to GT, right?
Is there? I don't know. I'm not seeing chat, have any hype about this.
I think they're a little bit behind. We'll see. There it is. So put exclamation point bet followed by the number that you're going to choose.
There are indeed
22 locations, yeah.
22 locations in GT for our Ganis Tower Big Key to be. Get your guesses in quick, because Scruff is right at the entrance.
What do you usually choose, Corbin?
My bet is always number 13, but somebody was quicker than me. Shame on you. I will have to go with 14 today.
All right.
What about you?
Number 9. In honor of the random number generator that just always gives you 9.
Fair. All right, we are in Ganis Tower. First chest, a small key. Second chest, half magic. That's a nice. It looks like Scruff is going to go full right side today.
Not going to turn my nose up at half magic and hope room for sure. Oh man, he's doing tile room.
This
tile
is
room 3.
Aggressive play.
He must feel behind.
He must, but I mean, he's done everything right as far as we can tell. His routing was good. He decided to do the pendant dungeons without knowing the ped was required. I'm surprised by this move. Very aggressive. We'll see if it pays out.
Cool
Meanwhile,
Papabell making up a little bit of time skipping lava chest.
Yeah, much less aggressive. Well, also aggressive, but in a different manner.
Oh!
Wow! Burn the wish, ladies and gentlemen. Scruff pulls out the big key out of tile room in chest 3.
But we're not done yet. We still need a sword. Of all the times to do tile room first, you need a sword.
And you're in a comfortable lead, in fact. I would be super surprised to see Papa do that same aggressive play.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Yeah. Welcome to our Raiders from the Go Mode podcast channel. My name's Tyler Salt. I'm joined by Corvain here in the booth. Scruff just got the Ganis Tower Big Key in tile room check number 3. And is going up the tower.
This is a counter to his aggressive play. If the sword that they need is in the basement and Cool Papa decides to do the basement in a more traditional route, this could actually hurt Scruff quite a bit if he can't find another sword outside of GT.
I hate this play. There are only, outside of GT, there are 3 spots that he hasn't checked. And one of them is Spike Cave that we already know isn't a sword. He doesn't know that. But man, I don't get this at all. This is 4
chests upstairs in GT. He is gambling hard on there being sword up there.
You know, it's like he might be right? You know, this is one of those times where we need to talk about, like, there are, you know, decisions can be either right or wrong, and they can be either good or bad, right? And those mean different things. Like, he might be right here, but I don't know that this is good.
Absolutely. I mean, every play he's made has been, you know, right. It has paid off. The tile room play was objectively a bad play because it was a time loss for a very small chance of it being correct, and it turned out to be right. We may be looking at another play that, from our perspective, overly risky, but may pay off big for him again.
Hey, it's Rumi in chat brings up a good point, right? Like, he's obviously not going to go fight Aga 2, right? He is committing he's committing some upfront time doing the gauntlet once, hoping, like, taking essentially, you know, you've got, because he did Stalfos room, right? So there are like 16 checks in the basement and 4 up here, right? So, you know, it's essentially a 1 in 5 shot that there's going to be a sword up here. That's not quite right with the math, but it's close enough, you know. But I think that a second gauntlet climb is a lot of time to bet on that.
It is. With those, we're going to get our checks here. First chance is just another small key. Second chance, just a small heart piece. He's down to 2 checks up here.
We got ourselves a race now. If this isn't a sword, or if these 2 chests aren't swords. 10 arrows down to Moldorm 2.
That's another thing. This is going to be a double Moldorm 2 fight if he decides to mirror out.
Now, coolpapabell is going to full clear the basement, right? So, you know, because again, if you missed it, Scruff gambled on tile room and did it third. So, like, this is still very close, and that's it.
He is committing to this.
What?
I don't understand this play.
This is bonkers.
We have a race, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
yeah.
If he had mirrored out, he still would have had a small advantage because he could have mirrored and gone up the gauntlet again as soon as he found a sword. coolpapabell going to have to most likely full clear the entire basement before they find their big key.
He has to know that he's on fighter sword, right?
I can't imagine him not knowing that. He's been on fighter sword the entire game. We found our first sword, I think, at like 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite an escape, but I believe it was in Kakariko. Really good Aga 2 fight.
That was a fantastic Aga 2.
Like, does he think he can freeze Ganon with the hammer? Because I don't think that you can do that unless it's swordless.
I believe that is the case. I've never tried it, but as far as I know, the logic of the game.
Okay, no, he's not doing that.
Okay. Ooh,
man.
This is an interesting play. It could cost him the race
and the tournament. This is game 3. Okay, so he hadn't turned in the mushroom yet. So he's got this, he's got catfish, he's got spike cave, and he's got the shovel. That's it.
If any of those pay out, well, the 2 that we don't know about, catfish and dig spot, if either of those pay out, he still has a comfortable lead and wins this probably pretty handedly. If they don't,
I don't know if that's the case. Because he's got to climb all the way back up the mountain. It depends on, I mean, it depends on where these swords are. I mean, you're right. We have to, Papa's got to go all the way through here, but I don't know that it's a comfortable lead at all. I think that puts it into the realm of gauntlet execution and a master sword silvers fight.
Well, dig spot coming up empty. He's gonna make the catfish walk.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have to go up the mountain. I completely forgot. I don't know why.
If he finds a sword, hit catfish, he doesn't have to go up the mountain and can go straight back to the Ganon fight, which leaves him in the lead.
That's an awfully big gamble.
This gamble, especially after making that amazing gamble that paid off on Tile Room. Cool Papa Bell, meanwhile, going through most of the basement of GT, also not finding a sword yet.
Well, there has to be one. Oh, I guess there almost has to be
two down here.
There has to be at least two down here.
Are we going to see 2 or 3 behind Armos Knights?
Because we haven't seen Compass Room yet either. And also the big chest as well.
This is it for Scruff. If you are rooting for Scruff, well, there's 1 on Cool Papa Bell's side, and 2.
Oh man,
that is going to be a long walk for Scruff to get down to.
It really is. I think Cool Papa Bell just took the lead here. Oh, and there's the sword on Catfish! Holy shit!
The luckiest player I have ever seen.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, I swore I forgot myself. My apologies to any children watching, but what the heck?
Never in a million years would I think that play could ever pay out the way it just did, and it did for Scruff. He is headed to the Ganon fight. Cool Papa Bell, meanwhile, about to get the bad news that Tile Room is the answer. Still have to make their entire gauntlet climb before they can catch up. This is Scruff's race to lose somehow.
That's the luckiest thing I have ever seen in Rando.
A double lucky play. He played the Tile Room early as well.
Just... I'm in shock. I have no words for this.
Well, in the end, Scruff on the Ganon fight, going through phase 1, using that Master Sword.
That was a really good, extra double spin there off the Trident. I'd never seen that in that point, in that spot right there before.
Nope. Using that half magic they got from GT and the cape for good effect here to get a lot of spins in without risking damage.
Yeah, Curium and I can only imagine Papa watching this VOD back later. That is the worst bad beat I can imagine.
Yeah, that's rough to lose that way, just because it seems like the fates have aligned against you. Meanwhile, Scruff on to phase 3 of Ganon.
The Masters, or the first 2 phases, are definitely the hardest part of the Master Sword fight, especially with Silvers. The dangerous part's pretty much over.
Ooh, tries to get that first silver arrow in, doesn't quite get it, but on to phase 4. 4 silver arrows will take down the pig. That's 1. That's number 2.
Here come 3 and 4. And
it is.
Get your GGs in chat for MrScruffNinjaTuna. Gonna take this race and the series. That is an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, 58 seconds. Unbelievable. Scruff in chat. Yeah, I should not have won this. I'm glad I won some lotto tickets.
That's a lot of lotto tickets there.
You're 100% right. Hopefully, we'll be joined by him shortly in the booth here. Whew, man. I'm trying to focus back in on Cool Papa's gauntlet climb, and I'm still coming down from the high, you know?
Yeah, that was incredible. Cool Papa Bell making their way up the gauntlet, doing a fantastic job of it. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words, just like you are.
All right, and we are joined by MrScruffNinjaTuna. GG, I guess. I pulled him in without his knowledge. We'll see. Oh, there you are. GG.
GG. Oh my god.
Well, you know what I'm gonna ask. What the hell?
I know. All right. Here is my logical reasoning. Okay. Here's my logical reasoning. When was the last time you saw 3 swords in GT?
Well, I just saw 2 swords in GT.
Well, yeah.
The last race I commentated like 3 days ago had the same thing.
I am glad I did not watch that then, because holy crap. My whole ideal was I'm going to go ahead and just go straight right to left, do hope room, tile room, compass room, mirror out to the left side in the hopes that I find a sword along with the big key. But then I immediately found that big key in the tile room. It's like, I've gambled enough this game. Let's keep rolling the dice.
Roll the dice you did.
And came up right. We are also joined due to the magic of stream delay by Cool Papa Bell. GG's to you, my friend.
Hey, GG's.
That's a bad beat. I gotta say, you pulled the swords out of the Ice Armos room as Scruff managed to grab that last sword at Catfish, right? And we were all if you watch it back in the booth, we completely lose our crap. Just have no idea what is happening at that moment in the seed. But tell us, you must have felt pretty good at that point.
Holy crap! So we were talking in the race time chat. I just realized that Scruff grabbed the sword off of Catfish after GT. What a madman!
After GT,
who's this lunatic?
He's a lunatic.
Absolute madman.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, I knew the boots were definitely going to get me behind. That was unfortunate. I felt pretty good about how quickly I went to the flute after grabbing the book, so I thought maybe I had a chance. But yeah, it feels like Scruff had a pretty decent lead on me. Otherwise, if he beat me by the time span that he did with a Master Sword Ganon in there, so I think he definitely earned this one.
Yeah, the big difference is because Scruff had the boots significantly earlier than you did, he was able to, you and he basically did all of the same stuff, but because he had the boots, he was able to kill all of the pendant bosses in those dungeons and not lose any time against you, and then blind pull Ped and it came up Ether. So, Scruff, what was your thinking there with the pendant bosses?
The first thing I was thinking is when I saw that Skull Woods was the green pendant, and I got that early fire out, I was like, okay, 3 items there, go ahead and kill the boss, turn it in while I'm out there. Oh, hey, look, I got Titan's Mitts, cool. So let's go ahead and work this way through. Then when I get into Pod, I find the book, and I'm like, there's an item on Helmasaur, and my next stop is obviously going to be Desert, the last pendant, so why not? Go ahead and kill Helmasaur, still nothing, get into Desert, find the flute of all things, and then the last item being on frickin' Landmo, And I was like, all right, this can't be it. This cannot be a pet seed with this kind of craziness. But I kill him anyway. And then after I pull, it was like ether. Why do you have to be ether? Because I saw Bombo's medallion was vanilla.
It was vanilla, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've got a 33% chance that one of these 2 dungeons is going to be ether. So why not?
Yeah, and I knew, like, I was leaving items behind, like, 1 on each one of those bosses, but just at the time it never made sense, because I was in Skullwoods when I had all of Death Mountain open, having just gotten those mitts, and then when I just found the flute in Desert, like, Lanmo is not going to be the first pendant boss that I'm going to kill when I know I'm coming right back to Mire, right? So I probably should have gone and killed Lanmo when I checked out Mire Shed and Checkerboard, but, like, I think I cleaned up a bunch of fetch quests and stuff then instead. So that would have saved me a little bit of time, but, like, 1 flute was not the difference in this race.
Yeah, from our perspective up here in the booth, it was very interesting. Cool Papa Bell, you seem to have, the race was close, but you seem to have the slight edge through almost the entire game. And as Scruff was making their way over to the pedestal, we were like, this could swing the race, but it's not likely, blah, blah, blah. And then blind pull the ped and ether comes up and we're like, well, that just really swung this race over to Scruff's side. He's got a pretty sizable lead. Then he makes the tile room gamble. Absolute madman. Comes up again. Decides to go straight up the tower. Gambles again. And it pays off again. Scruff, you can do no wrong in Rando, it seems.
I honestly cannot believe this much worked. I'm not kidding you. I actually went out and bought lottery tickets today. If I end up winning some type of multi-million-dollar prize, you guys will not hear from me for like a month. I'll go ahead and be like, guys, give Cool Papa Bell the win. I'm out. Sorry.
Tell you what, you can keep going in the tournament and we'll just split your multi-million-dollar prize. How's that?
I'll be sure to look you up and give you a sizable chunk.
Hey, I appreciate it.
To see it. You love to see it there. That's fantastic. Well, GG's again to both of you. Cool Papa Bell finishing with an official time of 1:53.06, a very respectable time on a nonsense seed like that. We're gonna have you hang out for just a second, see if there are any outstanding questions from chat here. But while we're doing that, while we're waiting, let's pull up the old challenge here and see what's coming up next in this here Challenge Cup.
Absolutely. And while Tyler is doing that, make sure you give both of our runners a follow. They put on a fantastic race. Absolute madman. Scruff going to be continuing on in the tournament. Definitely want to catch all that. And Cool Papa Bell, I expect to see great things from you in the future as well.
Yeah, I just got asked to get some of the league team back together for this spoiler pilot tournament that's happening. So that's probably going to be in the near future.
Arusa and I cannot wait to get smoked by you guys again. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. So, Scruff, you're moving on, and you are going to be up against Kantos here in the round of 8. So, yeah, I'm not super familiar with Kantos, but took out Diego Armando in the round of 16. Pool Float and Little Miss Arcade. And Pool Float. Pool Float took out Little Miss Arcade. So, moving on, 8 left in the Challenge Cup. So, GG's to you and good luck in the future. And Cool Papa Bell, enjoy, as I have, playing open seeds again now that your tournament is over.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm supposed to go back to the castle anymore to go to Zelda's cell. I've completely forgotten how to play open seeds.
All right. Absent any questions from chat, and I didn't see anything, Corvain, do you have anything else for our runners?
I've got nothing else.
All right. Thank you once again for a very entertaining race to MrScruffNinjaTuna and Cool Papa Bell. Thank you to Corvain. Thank you to our trackers, me and DM, and Slowpoke. And we'll throw it back to you. My name's Tyler Salt. And thanks, VXR. Thanks, ZSR, for having us.
You're welcome. All right, so give our runners a follow. They put on quite the show. This was an insane seed. Thank you to Corvain and Tyler Salt for providing the commentary, and thank you to Slowpoke and me and DM for the tracking. Pretty busy schedule tomorrow. I'll put the link to the schedule in the chats. and can look at that and see what we have tomorrow, including a Skyward Sword no back in time race, so that's gonna be a long one, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. That's the big thing that's going on tomorrow. We have a couple Wind Waker Randomizer Season 4 tournament matches, as well as another Challenge Cut match between Adalor Solthair and Kazdin. I hope I said those right. That is at 4:10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, Adalor and Kazdin? That should be a banger. That'll be really good.
We're going to wrap things up here. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.